Hi beautiful people, happy nearly full moon, can't wait for that. Happy nearly end of Mercury retrograde. If you're watching this video in current time, it ends on the 18th of October tomorrow. We'll still be in the shadow for a bit, and then there's a full moon on the 20th. I can't wait for this astrology to end. This is my third video I'm trying to make for you guys. I made two really beautiful pick a card readings and neither video saved on my phone. Well, the first one it kept cutting out, and so there were like loads of different bits, and then one bit didn't save, and the second one just didn't save. I did a whole hour-long reading. I can't even tell you, it's infuriating. This retrograde is literally killing me. I've deleted some of the videos from my what's it called, YouTube that I made over the retrograde because they just annoyed me because they were like in bits, because my phone kept, it's not my phone, it's retrograde, it's killing me. But so obviously those readings, maybe those messages were for me in a way. I'm not going to do piles because it's going to be too frustrating if it suddenly cuts out again and I only got to do like one. So I'll just do like one of my channeled messages. I'm going to get rid of any of the energy from the readings before. It won't be the same message because maybe that message was for me and that's why they're not letting me upload. It was a beautiful message. I hope it is for me. Let's clear these energies. Let's hope for the best. Let's get a channeled message where I'll also use cards, but I'll just start channeling first, I think, and maybe using my crystal ball. Connecting into anyone watching this video across all time and space, creating a temporary energetic cord between myself and the viewer, showing all chances, changes, possibilities, probabilities, anything that needs to come through for their highest good. My gatekeeper guide, keeping me safe and protected throughout this process, connecting in to my higher self, my spirit team of light, anyone's watching's spirit team of light, keeping us safe, channeling clear messages. Wow, something does not want me to give a reading today, but I feel like I should. I need to, I don't know why. Anyway, keeping us safe, protected, showing all chances, changes, possibilities, probabilities, clear answers and clarity for anyone who wants to watch this, that it is important for conveying these messages that need to come through, closing down the energies, restoring the auric fields and wrapping us in universal love, light and protection at the end of the reading. I know when there's a message that needs to come through. I don't just do this for fun. It's kind of irritating. My friend wanted to know if I wanted to go roller skating. I was like, I know I have to do a reading. I've been doing personal readings all day, but I know that this is a general reading, and once this is done, I'll do my last personal reading. So I know that there's something, but it just won't let it come. It's like, or it does, but it deletes it, or it's crazy energies. Okay, let me just connect in. I'm going to take all the other readings out of the equation because maybe they were for me and maybe I was meant to do that so I would get my messages. But for you guys, let's do some scrying, let's do some channeling, and then the cards should prove or show you clear messages from what I've been saying so you can know that this message was for you. Maybe use the timeline like an oracle and skip around and see where you land, and that will be your message. You could do it that way. Use your discernment. Not every message is for you. You need to be responsible for how you consume tarot readings. They can be highly addictive and dangerous, I would even say, unless you're using them in a way that is with discernment and caution. I don't like people to be trapped. I try to help clients get away from that. This is probably a channeled message already, 4:04 on the clock. So using your discernment to know what is for you, what is not for you. There are scammers out there. Every sort of industry is to make money and has like a darker side to it, and that includes spirituality. So think about the well, how clean the well is, how reliable the source is that you're getting your information from, and use your discernment and realize whether or not you're becoming addicted to something and whether it's helping you or whether it's a way of avoiding some kind of painful lesson that you need to sit with. What you're feeling, you're healing, it will pass. So don't spiritually bypass the net. Be careful with social media, with what you're seeing on Instagram accounts, with what you're seeing on YouTube, or messages that you're getting from looking at people's social media that may not be accurate, messages you're receiving yourself. There could be some kind of deceptive energy, but it could be a self-deception. I'm going to try and keep this to 15 minutes in case there's any technical fuck-ups. So this will be a quick reading, so let's just all of this is already part of it, but there's definitely something with screens to be a little bit careful of, cautious of. Knowing your sense of direction, orienting yourself with where you're placing yourself, what you're consuming. Because I'm hearing west, and like going west, I suppose going south, going west, it's like, which way are you going to go with the situation? Are you going in the right direction? How do you orientate yourself? What are the means you use to give yourself some kind of feeling of control? Is it just because you need a feeling of control? Because I'm getting like ley lines. Also, this could be about things that are, you know, destined to be where they are. Maybe you're meant to be exactly where you are at present. Microscope, are you zooming in on something and fixating on a small detail of something and not seeing the bigger picture? Or do you need to do more to look at something in detail? Are you being true to yourself? Are you expressing your truth? Throat chakra. Is what you're doing to try and make yourself feel better stealing you, robbing you of some kind of life force or truth and clarity? Are you looking at things, because this is the card of prospecting, past, present, future, looking at things from a distance, seeing how they fit. So that's the opposite of like kind of being fixated on a small detail. So there is something here about like maybe zooming in and out, macro, micro, how do things fit? Where do I want to be? What is the structure of this? Strength card. Doing some deep shadow work, going within, wrestling with your demons, self-mastery, taming the beast within. Well, look, this came through a lot in the readings that I had to delete, or no, I didn't have to delete, they deleted themselves. And, you know, maybe there's something going on with this full moon for the Twin Flame Collective or any kind of deep spiritual connection, but also this could include, you know, messages you're receiving about Twin Flame stuff and it being not really good for you, even if it's true, because you're too much in the fantasy of it, and that is always going to block the energy from manifesting. But there is something here with these two cards of a deeply spiritual soul connection. Divine Feminine, being able to kind of placate is maybe the wrong word, but have mastery over this Divine Masculine. It's like the feminine force that subdues, this tames this wild beast, sort of. And this can be an aspect of yourself, but with this card, this is my Four of Wands, 1111, Twin Flame Soulmate card. So there's something here of like maybe your fears or your shadow issues around this connection that are going to be tamed, but also this is a very strong feminine energy, not gender specific, but energy that is capable of subduing this energy that is maybe not wanting to be tamed, you know? And it's interesting because we've got the Three of Wands and then the Four of Wands. This is a progression. So this could be about like how you look at this connection, whether or not you feel like it is possible for it to ground. King of Cups, someone who shows, you know, who feels more than they show. Could be a water sign energy, doesn't have to be. Can have bad boundaries, a bit wishy-washy, rolls in and out like the tide. Mercury retrogrades, the tide that rolls out to reveal the mud and the dirt and the earth bed below. The earth bed of Genesis, where ideas can grow. The dirt that we can kind of grow our new growth from, you know. The darkness that we grow these beautiful flowers of new intentions from. But this person is kind of the gatekeeper of it, or he floats on the surface of this. He dips in and out of it. He may be in and out of your life, yet he does have feelings there. And I'm saying he, it's not gender specific, it's a masculine energy. You may have been in separation. There is a need for you perhaps to recover and be in a place where you're recovering from this at the moment, like a necessary separation, but this is separation and this is union. So it's a kind of a cycle, but this is the healing part of the separation, which allows for the coming together again. But you don't want to get stuck in that energy of like, oh, isn't it great to reconnect, and then you have that separation again, and then it's that high and that low and that in and then that out and that rolling in and out with the waves of the sea, and it's all very boundaryless and beautiful in its depth, but how the hell do you ground it? But yet there is a desire to ground it, and there is some kind of self-mastery, and there is some kind of surrender of one party so that this can. But yeah, ungroundedness is definitely an issue here. Yeah, I do feel it can ground. Again, we've got 2 infinity symbols, endless, forever and ever, looping thoughts here. Looping thoughts, looping, it's like a seabird that just circles around the ocean, dipping in and out. Birds may be significant. There will be communication. This came through a lot in the readings that didn't upload, you know. There will be communication, there will be some kind of message, there will be, you guys miss each other. There's a sadness, there's a grief, there's a loss, but this is like, it's like when, it's like when you don't want to let something go, 11:11 on the clock. It's like in the upright, 5 of Cups is like crying over spilt milk, grief. In the reverse, it's kind of like you're getting over that, but also you're missing each other and there's a desire to be together. 2 Cups remaining upright, the Fool card, new beginning. I don't like to give readings that give false hope, but it does seem like there is some kind of new beginning here after a lot of sadness, a feeling like it was over. And yet, you know, this is someone not giving up. This is someone carrying on. But do you want to, as long as it's not just you that keeps carrying on, this person has to show up for you, because this has caused you a lot of anxiety and sleepless nights. Looping thoughts came through, didn't it? And that is looping thoughts. That's not a nice energy to be in, but yet I do feel illumination. This is very dark energy, this is very fearful energy, this is like relief and some kind of communication coming in that just gives you clarity, gives you relief, even if it is so you can have a new beginning on your own. Something is shifting. 3 of Pentacles, can we work together? Will you work with me? Will you put in the work? Will there be an equal give and take? Can there be? Can we collaborate? Oh, this card came out in the first reading I did, and I'd just been talking about scams and how I worked at this call center where they used to scam people. I didn't last very long, and I exposed them. But it was a very kind of manipulative energy. And then I looked in the book, and it actually said, and I can do it again because I know seeing is believing, and people like to see. Risk of fraud, slump in shares. And I was talking about like scams, and then this being fraud, and this was like not like being very discerning of what, and I think I said this in the beginning of this as well, being very discerning of where you get your information, that there can be scammers and fraudsters. Yet at the same time, this card can talk of like fear of being alone, and so you cut yourself off and you're always going to be alone in your ivory tower because you've been hurt once. So it's about, yes, there is that going on. Yes, maybe someone has hurt you in the past. Yes, there is sadness, but don't also shut yourself off from it if there is a genuine desire for something else. So it's the discernment of what is and isn't real, what you can and cannot trust, and some kind of situation is going to arise where it calls all of this into question, where you're, what do I trust? Do I trust my intuition? Is it my intuition? Is it my fear? What information can I trust on this? I would suggest maybe just having a total social media diet. And maybe not watching loads of general readings, especially ones that are labeled specifically like how does he feel or something like that. Going to a few trusted readers if that's helpful, maybe even speaking to like a therapist about it as well. Getting an outside look on it that isn't so zoomed in, because maybe that microscope thing of like you're very zoomed in and focused in on the spiritual aspect of this, that you're missing the human aspect of this, and whether or not this person can show up in the real world, give to you equally and be there. And maybe they can, and maybe you're very afraid of trusting again, and maybe this message for some of you is that they can, but for some of you they cannot. And which one are you, and how do you know? And trusting your own instinct on that, and not being so fixated on the spiritual dimension of it that you miss the real world stuff. So speaking to someone not involved in the spiritual aspect, if this is a deeply spiritual connection, so that you have a bit of balance on this. Blessed, it is a blessed thing, but also it may be like, you know, divine protection, rejection. Exactly, be in the here and now. It's like, it can be blessed, it can be all of these things, both can be true, yet you still have to be in the here and now. How does it work? So really trying to be in the present and just go by what you can see in the present and what is in front of you, not getting caught up in all of the other stuff that is there, but look, round and round, looping thoughts, in and out, crashing back and forth, round and round. You know, this situation is likely stuck in a karmic loop with this, I said, separation, union, extremes, could even be past life stuff. But I do feel like it has the chance to spiral up and out of this repetitive loop, but something might have to be different about it, and you can only really do you can only really affect yourself, so you might have to approach this differently. Pillar of light, your vibration is rising, you are the oracle. See, finding that your truth, discerning what is true for you and what is not, that whole thing is there. Let's just get a couple more cards because I want this to be short. Initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. This was there to get you where you're meant to go. It was a threshold for you to cross. It's initiation. You are coming out of some kind of darkness towards some kind of light here. I do feel that someone is coming out of the cave. I feel like there's going to be some kind of tower moment, as in something quickly happens, a flash of illumination, crown chakra activated, messages received, clarity at least received on this. Could involve a child. Black Moon Lilith mystery. Now this is an interesting card because this is, you know, Lilith was the original kind of feminine energy. She had a lot of bad rap. She can be seen as an obsessive stalking type, but she also holds the mysteries of, you know, female energy. So she is all things. It's very alluring, but there's a deceptive quality to it and her and this connection. So there can be a warning of looking at social media, of becoming addictive, obsessional, that kind of energy here, because it can have both. It can be this beautiful, mysterious thing, but it can also suck you into an energy that is not healthy. And both can be true. Mercury retrograde reinvention. Well, yes, we're in the last day of retrograde. This is the tides pulling in and out. This is someone from the past coming back, communications, clarity coming in, but also this confused energy. Everything I was saying about my readings, this energy is there. There is a chance for reinvention here. Scorpio, I transform. The energy is transforming. Something may have needed to have a very definite ending in order for this new beginning. You may need to be very protective of yourself throughout this with this shelled crustacean. You might have to have a bit of a sting in your tail. You might be feeling quite defensive, but also know when or not to be vulnerable. Jupiter, abundance. There's that flash of inspiration again. I feel like there is a lot of abundance in this connection for you. It is something that is opening you up. Jupiter is all about the life lessons we have. Jupiter and Saturn are a bit like gangsters, like the mob bosses of the kind of astral realm, I guess. They remember a lot. They're tough. They give us tough lessons. But it's for our greatest good. It's for, you know, when you do spell work, you're often doing a deal with Jupiter or Saturn in order to kind of change your fate or destiny. But here it's like, yeah, there's some kind of tough energy here, tough lessons, but it's for your blessings, it's for your abundance, it's for your greatest good. And within this, you will find that. What do you need to release? Scorpio energy is all about release. Maybe you need to release a Scorpio. Maybe you need to allow something to end. Maybe you need to release attachment to an outcome for this. I think we're in a waning moon phase. Yeah, we're in waning moon phase now. Tomorrow, I think, is a void of course moon. Then we have the full moon, where it will be a very good time for you to release all of this stuff from now until the full moon. And then it's like, believe in the impossible. So release your fears and attachment to this, but don't release your dream about this connection and what it could be. And by the way, this doesn't have to be about a person, this could be about a job, although I do get, you know, you have to apply it to your own life and if it resonates to you or not. But that is a story I'm getting through. It does kind of relate to the last readings I did as well, but in not such a specific way that was very much to do with me, I feel. So I think it's a good place to leave it. I hope it was helpful. I'm sorry that like my readings have been so sporadic over this time, but honestly, because I feel energy so intensely, it's just a nightmare for me with retrograde. They'll be better and more, they'll be clearer and they'll be more regular after retrograde. The quality of them is not bad because I'm good at channeling in retrograde, but they'll be less chaotic. Page of Cups, definitely some kind of offer or communication coming in. Knight of Cups, just in case we weren't sure, yes. And it might be a bit of an upgrade offer as well, from something small to something bigger. Maybe it will start out as, can we be friends? Can we go for a coffee? Let's meet up, let's do something fun. One or both of you could be very defensive to it though, and again, like thinking about your boundaries and whether or not you can open up to this. You may have been hurt in the past, and that is up to you. I'm just reading the current energies. Again, just to ram it home, be careful of social media, try not to spy on them, they may be spying on you. Watching tarot readings, by the way, is spying on them. It always makes me laugh when readers are like, I'm getting an energy of someone spying. It's like, yeah, your viewer is spying on the person they're asking about by watching your video. You're picking up on that. They could be looking at you, I feel you're looking at them. Or anyway, there's something about social media, but I wouldn't believe what you're getting from it. Because it's not, it's a distorted mirror, isn't it? Best just to put your energy on yourself and living your life in this scenario. And then when and if they come back, you can decide whether or not to lower your defenses. Yeah, I definitely got also a message coming through in the other readings of like telepathy and almost like how dolphins and whales communicate via sonar under the depths of the ocean miles away, and they know what the other person is feeling and they know that there will be contact before it comes, and that could be very much going on here as well. So you might be a very empathic person, and you probably have a bond that defies explanation with this person that may even not even be totally about romance. There aren't even like a lot of romantic cards here, but it's a connection, it's a feeling of you feel connected, you feel tied. But can you have this person back in a way that isn't just a repeating cycle that doesn't serve you? That's what you need to ask them, yourself, the universe, and see what kind of insight you can get from that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there before anything weird happens to this. So closing down the energies, restoring the auric fields, wrapping us in universal love, light and protection, wishing you all the best. Subscribe, like and comment for a chance to win a free personal reading once I get to 1,000 subscribers. And there'll be information in the description box if you want to book a personal reading with me. Wishing you guys all the best. Closing down the energies, restoring the auric fields, and wrapping us in universal love, light and protection. I hope it saves. Okay, take care.